Do you ever find these fights hard to watch?
Not really. I spent some time on the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and through that process, I really focused on the health and safety issues for the fighters. Spent a lot of time with the lead doctors, both before and after the fights, looking at the fighters, seeing what their injuries were. And I think because I have that understanding, sometimes what maybe to the naked eye looks bad, to me, I understand what the injury is, and I know it's not anything that's going to be harmful to the athlete at all. In fact, if you look at our track record, we've never really had a major injury because we have all of the safety precautions, the pre-fight, post-fight medicals.
But when we're talking about fighter safety, we look at the NFL and we see the concussion scandal that it's going through right now. So what measures are you guys taking right now to prevent injury of your fighters, currently and also in the future?
Sure. Massive amounts of medical studies. We're actually participating with the Cleveland Clinic in funding a program with them where they're taking about 800 athletes, about 60% mixed martial artists, 40% boxers, and they're testing them both from a cognitive standpoint as well as doing MRIs and CAT scans, really studying their brain to see what the effects are and trying to see if there's anything that they can detect to see if one person is maybe more disposed to brain injury than the other person. The other thing is we have a great safety measure in the sense that if one of our fighters, if the doctor determines they have been concussed, there is no rush for them to come back and compete. We don't need them the next Sunday to play in a game. We don't need them for the playoffs. They are in fact suspended for upwards of 90 days where they're not allowed to have any contact to make sure that they have enough time for their body to heal itself before they have to, or if they want to come back and compete. So it's a completely different system than other sports currently have.
Do you worry that a scandal like that could be in your future?
At the end of the day, we do everything we can to try to make sure that the athletes are aware of what's going on and make sure that they're safe. Because we are so crazy about it, concerned about it, we had an event recently in Dublin in November that had sold out. And the main event was a kid by the name of Joe Duffy from Ireland. He was the hometown guy that everybody wanted to see. And we were made aware that 6 days prior to the fight, that he had had a flash knockdown or a flash knockout in practice, in his training. And we made the decision to cancel the fight because fighter safety is the utmost important thing. That's a perfect example of making sure once we get that information, we deal with it, we deal with the doctors, and we made the right decision in that thing and found a replacement, and the show went on.
What do you think it would mean for the brand if there was a traumatic injury, or God forbid, a death?
I mean, we're going to do everything we can to prevent that, but unfortunately, that is part of sports, primarily combat sports. I mean, historically, boxing has had a problem with that. Even if you go down to high school football, there's issues with that. And once again, we just got to do everything we can to try to prevent that, but unfortunately, is part of contact sports.